What's up, fams? You are tuned in to the Late Night Channel Eeps. I'm your host, EEPMON, episode 54. And today, to continue with the ad hoc fireside sort of what comes to my mind, today I want to talk a bit about the title is called From Fear to Freedom: How I Thrive on Uncertainty. So yeah, take it from me personally. As I mentioned in my previous episodes, probably one of the first ones I talked about, um, I realized that when I was doing well, I was still a student, and having done a summer job as a developer, a designer for a um, more like a web-based company. As a summer student, I learned quickly how the corporate culture, um, generally corporate culture, and how it was sort of like, you know, I don't want to, I hate that, I don't want to like to each their own, right? But as an artist, as a creator, I felt really restricted in such an environment. And the reason being is because as a creator, I enjoy and I find my strength in exploring new creative ways that stimulate my inspirations and my creativity, and it just stimulates my just sort of like exploration of, for the sake of, you know new discoveries and creativity. I keep on saying word creativity is a bit, but you get what I'm talking about. And when I'm working in a corporate culture environment, there's these specific tasks that you need to do. You got to turn it clock in, clock out. And I find that I start to realize it's sort of like it wasn't really for me. It stifled my spirit, my passion. Uh, for me as a creator, I need to explore constantly, be constantly stimulated, constantly finding new ways to make art, not just one very narrow view of design and whatnot. So I just, long story short, I basically set out on my own, having witnessed the sort of facades. And if I may say so as well, like, there are, it seems that even Gen Zs and millennials and Gen Zs are also realizing that the traditional notion of corporate culture is very exposes an ugly truth. And it's sort of the the inconsistencies of the way, just inconsistencies, inefficiencies, and that we are really just a number at the end, a numbers game at the end of the day. It doesn't matter. I realize it doesn't matter how good you are, how committed you are, how just sort of like really, putting your proactiveness for the sake of the company. At the end of the day, it's really not about that. I hear many stories where people get laid off because, again, it's a numbers game. We're meeting margins. We need to lay off people so that we can recoup the salaries and then put in our yearly end of the year assessment, saying that, yeah, we are net positive. but we laid a lot of people off. But we were in the green. Like there's I find there's a bit of this there's a bit of a ethical issue. I find that really demoralizing as a society, that we're so gung ho about meeting our margins for the sake of human beings. So what are we really? Are we just cogs in this mechanism? Are we just battery cells like those in the Matrix? We just exert our energy. Our life is really about exerting our energy as batteries to stimulate the all-seeing economy, the capitalist world. Okay, I could really go on a tangent on this topic, but I want to get back to focus. So I decided to start my own path, and realizing the inefficiencies and inconsistencies, and just sort of the ugly truth of traditional corporate culture, that one, if I were to be involved with another corporate culture entity, they would have to have me as who I am, as an individual, as an artist, as a creator, as a person who thrives and finds strength in being free. So I started doing EEPMON. I created EEPMON as my channel, not the channel East, but my path of understanding what it is I'm seeking. Seeking the freedom, seeking just sort of like thriving on my creativity, and exploring all avenues. That being said, it is not easy. It's tough. It's really tough. Emotionally draining. You always have to be on lookout. You have to be aware of the opportunities, and you have to do your due diligence. You have to really, you're an entrepreneur, right? You have to wear many hats. You be marketing, you got to promote, you got to network, you contact, you have to build relationships. You got to go to destinations, to whether it's conferences or follow-ups, send invitations, keep in touch, right? And all that, and you still have to create. And you got to do the work. You're doing the work, but you have to do your artwork. So that's what I did. And it was hard. And what was beginning very fearful, I saved up some money so that I can really, just sort of like invest in myself and give it a shot and see where it goes. Of course, my trajectory has been like high highs and high lows, and more, I would probably dare say more lows and highs in my path. But overall, though, I think maybe I would say that it's an upward trajectory, But I feel like there are more dips in my career. But hey, but is it? It's scary, yes. But do I enjoy it? Absolutely. Do I have any regrets? No regrets. And again, it really depends on your personality. It depends on what you want in life. Maybe, and all the power to you and individuals who enjoy corporate life, corporate culture. I guess there are perceived stability, but I do believe that nothing ever lasts forever, folks. So don't get too cushy. But if this is where you find your strength, good on you. Good for you. For me, I am that anomaly statistic where I'm just an outlier. And I just can't find my energy in that world. So going at it alone, right? Wear many roles, many hats. But what I noticed that every year I do it again and again and again, I get better at it. I get better at it. I get better at more knowing myself, my capabilities, my potentials. Um, and I do it, and it's almost like you iterative, and every iterative process in how you engage and being entrepreneurial gets refinement. It's like gets better and better, and it gets more refined. So what became fearful, every step or every iteration, I got stronger. And I always say I built a thicker skin. Thicker skin meaning that I became more tolerant towards the fearfulness, the uncertainties, the unknowns. So much so that today and now, well, I mean now, like for me, uncertainty, unknowns, is, and the idea of fear, like it's my fuel. I thrive on it. I love it. If I don't have a bit of uncertainty in my life, if I don't have a little bit of that sort of like that the butterflies in my stomach, a little bit of that nervousness, if I don't have that, then I know that one, I mastered the situation, and two, I'm gonna get bored really easily and need to find something else to do. Like I need to have a bit of that little push, because that's when I know that there's room to grow. That's when I know, and that's also like a reminder, a constant feedback reminder. Don't get comfortable. Don't rest on your what's the word, your laurels. I don't know, but don't like and just like don't be complacent. Don't get comfortable, because just like that, things will change, because nothing lasts forever. Do you think that the idea of stability is in the cards? That is a false narrative. So, and especially for us creative entrepreneurs, we gotta be on our toes all the time. We have to be very aware, very acute at the our surroundings. Just really honing in and sensing the nuances of, like, down to the body language when you're meeting people. It's just like I've done it so many times now that I can read people like a book. It's crazy. Like I can understand. Like I can just, it's just because you refine yourself so well that it's just sort of like you can just, without even thinking about it, it's just the energy that just people emanate. You could just really sense the vibe and reading the room very well. So, but then but again, like that's the trade-off, though, right? It's gonna be hard at the very beginning, very hard. Um, that being said, what doesn't kill you make you stronger, right? You have to go through these trials. You have to go through the challenges. Do you think that you're going to be a winner, a successful at the onset right away? That is, you're lying to yourself. You have to go through hell and back. Right? I've talked to many people, and I'd say, "What's your story?" For like-minded individuals, and they would tell you, like, similar stories of how they went through hell and back, and sometimes they go back to hell again. But that's it. That's what those are. And those people who tell me these stories, man, I totally, like, I love it, because I relate to them. They're far and few people who are like who are really honest about these things, but they would tell you their story, and they are it's very inspiring. So much so that I'm motivated, and I'm even more fueled up and more empowered that we're all in this together, and we gotta go and make it happen. Now, am I out of the woods of all this? uncertainty and fear? Absolutely not. You know, like I said, I need it's part of my life. I need that element of surprise, the element of uncertainty to keep me on my toes, and I like it because it's just I think it's actually quite healthy. Actually, I enjoy it. I think it's mentally speaking, uh, uh, for activation and being aware. You know, I think it's good for me. I think it's healthy. I know it sounds crazy, but you know, like imagine like because if you got too comfortable, you start getting lazy. You get so like, and I don't want to go out. I don't want to go work. I don't want to exercise because you know when you're on this treadmill of being an entrepreneur, you have to make sure that you are at peak performance most of the time. But most importantly, you must have a healthy mind and a healthy body because nothing else matters. But you have to make sure that you are in like do the best you can to keep yourself fit and relatively healthy, folks, because uh, there's no, I mean, how do I say, yeah, I mean, I go back to that. If you can't, everything else is secondary unless you take care of yourself. Okay. So yeah, that's my little spiel about that. And I thrive it on. I thrive. You know. Again, I tell you what, I'm going to be going to Japan in October. I'll be there for a month to follow up with my B2Bs, right? That were you know, from my previous years in Japan, and then it accelerated again when I went on the Team Canada trade mission to Japan. Like I met more businesses and Japanese counterpart. You know, I'm doing all these things. I'm doing all, you know, meeting people, develop self, you know, development. I was invited to go to Japan and do an event. You know, like all these things are happening. Uh, but like it's still uncertain. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. People were asking me, "Oh, well, have you got a big project yet?" Well, no, I haven't. I got projects, but I haven't got a big project. But for me, it's not. Like it's not about if I'm gonna get a big project. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I need to go there and figure it out. I'm at peace, completely content that I'm gonna go there and see what happens. That's what I mean by embracing and thriving on the uncertainty. Do I have a game plan? Do I have a concrete game plan? No, I don't. Nor do I want to, really. I have some idea, but it's all about finding that balance between a set of high level goals that you're not sure how it's going to play out, but also accept that serendipity and serendipitous connections is going to play an equal role in unraveling the tapestry of uncertainty. Right? Make that as your thrive on. That's what I mean by thriving on it. Lots of people are like, oh, I don't know, I should go, I don't know, it's money and it's gonna cost me this much, and I know what's gonna happen. I'm so scared. I'm like, yeah, well, you better have some of that element of scaredness, but you gotta go there and you gotta make it happen, and that's what I'm doing. Okay, but I'm gonna do the late night channel from Japan coming October, and you get to follow along and see what happens too. Let's see what happens. I don't know. Maybe I'll just all I'll do is like eat like, you know, Yoshinoya all day and that's it. That could be one that could be the uncertainty. That could be the result. But yeah, I think it's healthy, and for us creators or inspire or up and coming who want to follow the path of an entrepreneur, you just have to do it. You got to do it. Face these things head on in the best of your ability. And I guarantee you, something positive will always come out at the other end. So yeah, I'm 20 minutes in. But that's my little talk of from fear to freedom and how I thrive on uncertainty. Because it's just, what is life without uncertainty, folks? We are surrounded by uncertainty. It's this, our universe is all entropy. We're like everything's changing, everything is coming apart. So like, it's nothing lasts forever. Everything's, the entropy is real, folks. Make that your power. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, I want to show you this thing. To see this lantern there? This lantern I got was from an auction from Sushi Gardens. Like back in the day, it was a sushi restaurant. They closed down, but now they opened the sushi chef has opened a new one in Orleans as his own restaurant. But at the time, they were auctioning these lanterns, and I got like two of these small ones, and I got a big one. But I've changed it so that I actually added a LED puck light that's remote, that's battery powered, and I have this remote. And look at this, it's like so cool. Like you can change the color. Look at this, green, go to blue style. Look at that. Is that cool? Red. That's so cool, right? You even like oscillate. We just oscillate for now. Look at that. That's cool. And it's so nice. Like it really works. I think it actually fits very well in my space. So yeah, maybe I'll have that in my background from now on next to slime. So yeah. Anywho, I hope you enjoy my talk. I just get so fired up and excited. Like, I was a little tired. I was really tired. Okay, gotta do another late night channel. But after talk, I just love talking about this stuff. It gets me all fired up. Now I'm like I'm awake again. All right, folks. Thank you for listening. If you like and you find this very useful, please like and subscribe. And much appreciated. This is the Late Night Channel Eves episode 54. EEPMON signing off, and until next time, chat to you tomorrow. Bye bye.